Hi, I'm Devika. Welcome to my channel. I love an all-white table. There's something so beautiful about bowls overflowing with jasmine and tuberose. I created this beautiful table for the G20 in India, for the heads of states, and I wanted to recreate a version of that that could be adapted to home and that we could experiment with multiple dinner sets. I'm going to start by layering my table with an off-white table cover. I love that an off-white base is the perfect white background to create a table setting. And in an Indian home, it's the best piece of fabric to use because honestly, you can just bleach it if it gets dirty. I've chosen silver thalis. These ones are actually my favorite because they remind me of lotus leaves. I'm going to place them all around the edges here. I've got a matching set of katoris. And I love that these plates make it feel like I've got literally like a little bit of a lily pond on my table. I've pulled out some silver cutlery to match it. On an Indian setting, I feel like it's sometimes futile to put too much cutlery because it doesn't get used. So I'm just going with a fork, a tablespoon, and a dessert spoon, which I'm placing right at the top. I love long pea pottery and I've collected these from all over the country. There's such a unique perspective to an Indian vase. I'm layering them in the middle to create an interesting centerpiece. On an Indian table, especially where people are having a seated meal, I hate a tall centerpiece, and I love that this is going to create a cluster in the middle of a low center. I bought this beautiful bunch of jasmine and Indian grown tuberose this morning from the flower market, and I'm going to layer them in my vases to create the most interesting centerpiece. I'm not a fan of using floral foam because it takes ages to decompose, so I've just filled my vase with water. And I'm going to use some sellotape to create a basic grid in here. Just layering my sellotape in here. And then I'm just going to use these lovely hydrangeas that are actually grown in Bangalore and place them in the middle of the grid. It's the best way to hold flowers together. I'm going to cluster all these vases together down the center of my table. Some tulips for height. And some more vases with lovely white lotuses on the corners and eucalyptus for a beautiful fragrance. And then I've filled these glasses with tuberose that I'm going to cluster towards the edges. There are just other glasses that I've picked up to layer over here. This little lotus that I have folded that I'm going to layer on every place setting. I'm going to add my glasses into the table. Put your vases in a way that your guests can actually see each other's faces, at least each other's eyes. I'm going to just take a little bit of jasmine and strew it all over the table for a beautiful fragrance. Here's my version of a modern, minimal Indian table. Everything on this table is either grown or made in India, which I love because this is literally my ode to the beauty of the country. And I wish you could smell how beautiful and fragrant it is over here. If you like this table, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, I'd love to know what are the common misconceptions you have about creating tables, like not using black on an Indian table, and I'd love to see if I can create a beautiful table with that.